All right, good morning, traders. Today is November 4th, 2024. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. Appreciate that. Wishing you and your family a prosperous new month. My SPY pivot this morning, 572.20. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Okay, all of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends except for Diamond Dow. All the Fab 5 also made inside days, closing below their bearish traps and under their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow currently in a downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Silver made a lower high and a lower low, closing below a bearish trap under the 17 EMA, while gold made an inside day, closing below a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG made a new all-time low. USO, still in a downtrend, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. US dollar index in an uptrend closed near the 104.31 area. Let me see, it took a nice dip to today, so we may see a rally, we may not. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. First chart, here's SPY, 10-minute chart. Here's my pivot, that's the yellow line. Let me crank this up. Okay, above that, 10-minute uptrend, I'm a bull. Below that, I'm a bear. It's been just waffling back and forth. Okay, so over 572.81, I'm looking to be bullish. Under 570.99, I'm looking to be bearish. Okay, that would be on the top side, 572.91, 81. All right, that would be green erases red, and on the bottom side, that would be red erases green underneath 570.99 right there. Again, we had a 10-minute downtrend. You can see right here, price action. You got candlesticks below the thin yellow line. That's the 3 EMA. You got candlesticks in the 3 underneath the white thin line. That's the 8 EMA. So you got a bearish downtrend there for me. All right, so a bearish downtrend going into the close. Did have a little uptrend going there, but a quick pullback brought us right back into the downtrend. So there's a 10-minute chart. On the 2-hour chart, going into the close on Friday, okay, we had a 2-hour downtrend. Going into the open, in the pre-market, post-market, we're about to get a bullish cross. We'll see what happens if they can really pull it off. We haven't been making any higher highs. Go back to the 10-minute chart. And you can see right here, we really failed to make the higher high. We almost even failed to meet the possible gap on the upside. All right, so the low side of that open gap, we even didn't even test that. We went up there close to it, but we really didn't even spike it or anything like that. So it's kind of bearish if they're not even able to hit the upside of that gap, let alone do the gap fill. So we'll see what happens today. I'm leaning toward bearish this morning, only because they failed to actually even meet the open gap up there. So I'm kind of leaning more bearish, even though the dollar's moving down. So we'll see what happens. All right, so there's 10-minute. Those are my entries. And what am I looking for next? Okay, let's go to the daily chart. All right, here's the daily chart. You can see SPY made an inside day that's a lower high and a lower low. It's hard to see. Okay, you can see the big wick up there. See, notice that's mostly all wick, and then body and tail down here. Okay, so whole lot more wick than body and tail. Shows me that the bears own that day. Huge red candle, bears own that day. All right, so you can see lower high, lower low. Well, lower high, higher low, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, under the all-time high anchored Vwap, under the prior all-time high anchored Vwap. And you can see there's price action there bouncing off of this prior high anchored VWAP as we hit that yesterday on Friday. Well, on Thursday, and then this is Friday. All right, so price action today kind of looking like another inside day. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Still in an uptrend in my eyes. I did break this low. Could classify it as a downtrend very easily. Breaking this low will definitely classify it as a downtrend. Right now, I'm just going to keep it in the uptrend. It's still bullish. Kind of went up and pulled back. That's neutral for me. When it goes up and pulls back, that would be neutral. If they go up, pull back, and do some more, that's bearish. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. Same thing happened in QQQ. All right, QQQ. Again, you got that tail down there, and price action on Thursday took out the tail. Again, that would be a downtrend for some people, but you know, still up and then back. That's kind of neutral. So price action, inside day, lower high, higher low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. Okay, still in an uptrend in my eyes. Price action, get my tools out. Price action moving up and holding the higher ground. Let's move this over, move that up. Okay, so price action, let's get, yeah, that one. So price action moving up and then holding the higher ground still. All right, so that's bullish for me. All right, that's still bullish for me. Same with SPY. Again, moving up, holding the higher ground. Okay, now they did go up here and then they lost it. Okay, so that's neutral. So we're still bullish for me right there. Okay, so we'll go back to QQQ. Okay, QQQ up over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Price action closing. Here's the move up in the upper quadrant. That's quadrant 4. That's bullish for me. Anytime it's in the upper third or upper quadrant 4, that's bullish. So everything looking good for QQQ. Just a sharp pullback there on Thursday. Hopefully we can recover that. We'll see what happens. FNGU. Okay, same deal. All right, inside day, lower high, higher low, closing under bearish trap underneath 17 EMA. FNGU not quite as healthy as QQQ, being since it's not in the upper third and it's not in the upper quadrant. It was there on Wednesday until Thursday came around and they fell out of bed. So there's FNGU, price action closing over the midpoint, that's bullish. Closing over all-time high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Price action still moving up and over, that's bullish, holding that higher ground. Okay, so that's bullish there. So everything's still looking good for FNGU. Again, now if we take this quad lines, move it out to here, price action is in the upper third and close to being in the upper quadrant. All depends on where you start. If we go back to QQQ, see if we started on the 6th. Yeah, see, we started on the 6th when we drew those, so it's in the same spot. So FNGU looking just as healthy as QQQ. QQQ got a little bit more space over that all-time high anchored VWAP than FNGU. Not the same right there. Okay, so there's FNGU. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM here, making another inside day, just like the other three. Lower high, higher low, closing under bearish trap and under 17 EMA. Starting out on the 6th there. Actually, that one's on the 11th. All right, but we're still price action. Trying to hold on to that upper third. I'm going to say they didn't get it. That's looking more like below the halfway point of this quadrant. So that's more like for IWM, that's falling out of the upper third and not holding on to quadrant 4. But over the midpoint, so that's bullish. Over the 2024 anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Moving up, holding the higher ground. It's a sloppy hold, if you ask me. It goes up, and instead of going like kind of straight across, goes down and then way up and then way back. In the meantime, if you look at it, we're right back to where we started. So it's right about here, about where roughly. All right. So it's still kind of bullish in the fact that it went up and it's held there. It's not a real convincing hold because as sloppy as it is, but still up over the midpoint. So it's a nice hold for me. Price action. You can see they hit a high right up here. Okay, but need to take out that high. They're still making higher highs and higher lows. That's bullish for IWM. Now, they start making lower lows, they'll be in a downtrend. Right now, currently in an uptrend. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow broke the major support right here, so they came into a downtrend. Price action for yesterday. Higher high, higher low, closing inside a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA, closing underneath the all-time high anchored Vwap. That's the top pink line. Closing under the prior high anchored Vwap. That's the second pink line. Closing below the upper third. All right, but over the midpoint. That's bullish. Okay. But not in quadrant 4 or quadrant 3, so it's kind of losing a little bit of bullishness there. Breaking the downtrend line, that's not good. So Diamond Dow now in a downtrend, making lower lows. All right, breaking the downtrend and sitting pretty close to midpoint here, right here on Diamond Dow. Let's go take a look at our technicals. T2122. All right, so price action for Friday, okay, because that's when we left off there. All right, so we ripped up, it went all the way through the seller's chop zone. We're knocking on the door of the buyer's chop zone, and you can see the bears threw us out, and we wound up making lower high inside the seller's chop zone, and then some lower lows, another lower high, and then we found ourselves camping out with the bears down here in the sell zone. Okay, so there's T2122. Wound up closing the day inside the sell zone right there. So not a good sign. So possibly more selling coming into the next few days here. Still got that 2-hour downtrend. Let's take a look at T2123. Again, start breaking the lows down here, and that puts us into probably a downtrend right there. This was all a nice uptrend. Yeah, we needed a little bit of a pullback, but this is going a little bit too far, so hopefully they can find some support. They should be bouncing sometime today, either spike that or bouncing someplace right around here, because this would be the major support of all of this consolidation, which gave us that all-time high anchor, that all-time high rally right there. So there's T2123. Friday's price action. You can see all red candle bars right there. Nothing but red from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, putting in a whole lot more space between this rolling over 200 SMA and the price action. So what would I like to see? I'd like to see a bounce, but I got a feeling we're going to get a hockey stick, and it's just going to go to the right. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, all right? On the 3-bar chart, pretty much the same thing. Three more red candlesticks right there. A little bit different because the 200 is a little bit more slower moving on the 3-bar chart than it is on the 15. As you can see, here's 200 rising up through some prior highs right through there, and price action is closing in on the distance between the price action, the prior price action, and this rising 200 SMA. I said it'd be nice to see this rising 200 SMA make it up over these prior highs, and here we are. All right, so that's nice. Hopefully they put in a higher low here. If they do decide to come this far back, put in a higher low, and then we could hopefully see a rally bouncing off of that higher low where the bulls may be inspired to run up and challenge the prior all-time high, well, the all-time high, and maybe even go higher. We'll see what happens. There's T2123, and we take a look at our FNGU. We watch the FNGU because FNGU has 10 of the most heavily weighted stocks in QQQ and SPY because we trade the indices. It's nice to know what's going on in the core components of SPY and QQQ, being that these 10 seem to have quite a hold over direction for those two indices. So here's FNGU price action for Friday. Okay, we were coming down all day Thursday, and they said and then here we go. We started off with a little rally here, so got a little mini bull flag going on in there. All right, that was a surprise. Just noticed that now. That's a little bit too big. Take that out. Move that over there. Okay, so then go up here. Nice little bull flag going right there. Still caught underneath this flat 200 SMA. Like to see us rally up through there, and that's possible with this bull flag. We could see an equal distance to the upside, and hopefully they hold when they get up there. We'll see what happens. So I'm looking for a bounce today. Could get a hockey stick. Not sure what we're going to get. I'm looking for a bounce today for FNGU and T2123. So could see a bullish day. I don't know. Again, we're all set up for bearishness. Still in that 2-hour downtrend. Had a 10-minute downtrend. Daily charts underneath the 17. We'll see if they can, if they're going to try and recover that today, or if they're just going to kill some time and move to the right. All right. So there's FNGU. Let's go take a look at a few sectors. Then we'll go look at the economics package. And I want that one right there. Try it again. This one right here. Okay, so first we'll start off with precious metals. Start with silver. Okay, silver still in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. Silver up over prior 12-year high right there. Okay, that's price action is this pink line here. Here's the recent 12-year high right up there. Okay, price action for yesterday, Friday. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath, bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA and underneath that prior 12-year high anchored VWAP right there. So there's silver on the daily chart, still in an uptrend until it breaks this low right here. Okay, so finding a little bit of support right here on minor support. You can see here's where price action is kind of supporting it. As you see, price moves up. And it's not going to work now. We got support right here and support right there. So maybe we can get a bounce to the upside on silver. Looks like we had a little bit yesterday. Maybe we get a little bit more today. We'll find out. All right, let's take a look at gold. Okay, gold. Okay, this is Friday, this is Thursday, Wednesday. That's an all-time high for gold. Gold's in an uptrend. You can see price action here, well above the uptrend line. Price action over the 17 EMA. You can see price action. Yesterday's candle was an inside day, which is a lower high and a higher low, closing underneath a bullish trap, but over the rising 17 EMA. All right, so gold still bullish here. Nothing says it's bearish till it breaks that low right there. Let's take a look at UNG. All right, so here's UNG. It's Friday's price action right here. This red candle underneath there. All right, that is an all-time low for UNG because they had a stock split or a sector split, an ETF split. That's what it is. Okay, and with the split, that makes this the all-time low for UNG, putting in new all-time low on Friday right there. Not a very good sign for natural gas. All right, let's take a look at USO. Okay, here's crude oil petroleum. Price action for that. Higher low, higher high. Still in a downtrend. Closing below bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Now they're back up here this morning. If they take out the highs over here, they'll be in an uptrend. They're coming close. Okay, they don't have far to go. If they take out this high right here, they'll be in an uptrend. So not too much. They get up to 575. That's an uptrend for USO. Right now, currently in a downtrend. All right. So there's USOs. Take a look at SMH. All right, SMH up over all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. SMH hanging out in the upper third. That's bullish. SMH making higher lows and higher highs. That's still bullish. It's questionable whether that's a downtrend or not. Again, there's not a complete candle underneath the 17, but it's a couple of spikes there. So we'll see how we want to play this out. Still up over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. For me, that's still bullish. Price action has moved up and sloppily, if that's a word, is holding value over at near the higher ground. Not quite at the higher ground, but near it. Looking like a triple top crown there. Actually looking like a head and shoulders pattern, if you ask me. Again, you can see price action, has gone up here, creating the right shoulder. This would be a left shoulder right there, and then this would be the head right there. So got a little head and shoulders pattern going on right there. Not sure if they're going to let the neckline be broken. That would be the neckline right through here. So we'll see what happens. There's SMH, still bullish. If they break this neckline, not anymore. All right, if they break that shoulder line, neckline right through there, we'll see what happens. SMH. All right, let's take a look at XLK. That's our technology sector. Okay, so here's price action moving up over to the right and then kind of losing it. Again, still making higher highs and higher lows. That's bullish. Up over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Up over in the upper third. Closing candles in the upper third. That's still bullish. Everything's still looking pretty good there with XLK. Not nearly as weak as SMH. All right, let's take a look at XLI. Okay, XLI still in uptrend. Well, they broke this consolidation low right through here, so that puts them in a downtrend. So XLI in a downtrend underneath all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath prior high anchored VWAP, and this would be. Let me just make sure what day that is. That's today. Here's Friday. Friday had a nice day. Friday price action. Okay, completely outside day, wild day for Friday, with a higher high and a lower low, but closing over a bullish trap. Wonder how much that is true. I just got to see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. All right, so that's a bad print. Glad I looked at that. Okay, so price action really just kind of hanging out down here underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, things falling apart for the industrial sector. All right, let's take a look at XLU. So utility sector, and they made a lower low. That puts them in a downtrend. Price action underneath the prior all-time high, underneath the all-time high for XLU. Price action for yesterday. Hope that candle's right. Yeah, looks like it. Just had to check. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Okay. XLU, downtrend. XLI, downtrend. All right, let's take a look at XRT. Okay, XRT, if they take out this low right here, they'll be in a downtrend. Currently resting on the midpoint or the midfield, 50-yard line right through here. That's the dash one in between the upper two quadrants and the lower two quadrants. Okay, so you can see price action just kind of leaning on the midpoint there. Price action is 74.93, 74.91. So that's a higher low and a higher high. Okay, so higher high, higher low, but closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend till it takes out this low, then it will be in a downtrend. Big picture on XRT, that's our retail sector. See price action moving up, kind of holding the higher ground up there. All right, so price action looking for a breakout on XRT. It's going to take a lot to get that going. We'll see what happens, though. Need some really good earnings, some really good news. All right, let's go take a look at IYT. No, let's take a look at XLF first. Okay, here's XLF. Price action, still bullish. Hanging out in the upper third. Okay, see that up there? Price action moving up, kind of holding the higher ground. Okay, that's bullish. Price action making higher highs and higher lows. That's bullish. Price action up over prior high anchored, all-time high anchored Vwap. That's good. Over underneath the all-time high anchored Vwap. That would be the top pink line up here. All right, so there's XLF. Everything's still bullish there. Still holding it together. IYT, here's our transports. Price action for IYT, all right? Moving up, kind of holding the higher ground over the midpoint there. Okay, that's a good sign, over the midpoint. Price action is in an uptrend. Now, it's not quite a candle, complete candle underneath, but that came close to taking that out. Price action for yesterday looking like, all right, we got a higher high and we got a lower low. So an outside day closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, that's 2 harsh days down. We might get a nice bull day today. Just saying that in the market because usually you get 2 harsh days that don't go anywhere or they go to the same spot. Usually get a big green day coming up after it. So we'll see what happens. All right, so there's IYT on the transports. Let's take a look at economics package. You see the dollar was down here this low, close to coming down to challenge that red, the bottom of this red candle here. Price action closed on Friday way up here, 104 like 31 area right up here. You can see the top of that green candle up there. Max pain for today is 573. And the put to call ratio, it's like deja vu all over again. Well, that's the first. Yeah, that's not going to work for us. Let me see if I can refresh this. In the meantime, I'll go to the economic calendar. Here we are Monday. All right, we've got factory orders coming out at 10. That's it. Nice, easy day there. Tuesday, international trade in goods and services, 8:30 there. ISM services index, 10 o'clock there. Nice, easy day there. Wednesday, what do we got Wednesday? FOMC meeting begins. All right, that means they're going to have some minutes. NBA mortgage applications at 7. I think that's every Wednesday at 7. PMI composite final comes out at 9:45. So I guess they're going to review and adjust the composite final. Petroleum status report at 10:30. Another nice, easy day there. Okay, on Thursday, I think we got the main event on Thursday. We'll see what happens. All right, so we got jobless claims coming out at 8:30. Productivity and cost, 8:30 as well. Wholesale inventories, 10 o'clock. Nat gas report, 10:30. All right, and then guess what? We got an FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. on Thursday, okay? Press conference at 2:30 and consumer credit at 3, all right? So the main event is Thursday at 2 p.m., all right? That's FOMC. For Friday, what do we got? Consumer sentiment at 10, a rig count at 1, and Bauman's going to speak at 11 right there. So the main event this week is going to be FOMC announcement. See if they're going to talk about rate cuts again. Another rate cut. I think they're talking about how much they want to do, whether they want to do a quarter or whether they want to do a half. I don't know. I think maybe they could do a half and get away with it. All right. I think the economy's is juiced up, but it's not that juiced that it couldn't handle another half a point on the interest rate. So we'll see what happens there. Back to Max Payne, still spinning. Earnings report. Okay, Monday. We already did Friday. Monday we got Vertex Pharmaceuticals, 122 billion. Platner, 93 billion. They're going to report this evening. KEG, Constellation Energy, 82 billion. They're going to report This morning, Zotis, 80 billion they're going to report this morning. Again, some more familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the markets like an Apple or something that has over $500 billion of market caps. Let's go to the next day. Tuesday, what do we got? Ferrari Nevada is going to report. That's 116 billion. Apollo Global, 80 billion. Again, some familiar names. Nothing that's going to move the markets there. All right, so on the 6th, we got Novo Nordisk. There we go. $500 billion right there on Wednesday morning on a drug manufacturer. Toyota Motors going to find the P&L and decide when they want to report. That's $232 billion there. Qualcomm, $184 billion. They report Wednesday evening. ARM Holdings, $147 billion. They're going to report Wednesday evening. Gilead Science, more drug or medical devices, not sure. $111 billion. They're going to report Wednesday evening. Mercado Libre, still looking for the P&L or deciding what time they want to report. Again, $104 billion there. And again, CVS Health and some other ones. Some more familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets like the big boys. All right, so let's take out Thursday. Thursday we got Arista Networks. That's 121 billion. They're going to report in the evening. Duke Energy, 89 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Friday, we've got Onyx Corp. All right, that's 25 billion. So again, very familiar names, but they're not going to move the markets. Monday, Grub or Grab. I can't see. Grab Holdings. I thought it was Grubhub. All right, so here's Grab Holdings. They're going to report again more familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the market. So really light week as far as earnings go. All right, really light week as far as economic data goes. So wherever the bulls want to take it, whether they want to give us a sharp pullback and then a quick rise, that's a possibility for that. So all in all, looking pretty good so far. All right, so I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video, get it up here, posted again. Thank you, everybody out there in YouTube land, out there in Rumble, Facebook, Twitter. Appreciate it. Hey, good morning, Robert. Thank you for finding value in my content. I hope to provide more. I hope to earn your attention. Thank you so much. All right, until then, I'll take questions. If not, I will see you guys at 9:15, and we'll take a peek at the market and decide which way we want to trade it. All right, so we'll see what happens then. Max Payne 573. Thank you, Brad. All right, it's good to know. Max Payne 573. Brad also shared. Oh, he's got it right there. Thanks. 573. Put the call ratio is 1 1/5, basically 1 1/5 puts for every call. So not a real put squeeze going on right there for this morning. All right, traders. I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes.